Welcome to Hockey Eastern Ontario's Rule of the Week, where each week we take a rule from the Hockey Canada rulebook and break it down to better explain it for our officials, our coaches, our players, and all members of our hockey community. Just a reminder before we get started to please like the video and to subscribe to get updates from all the content on this channel. This week, we're going to be talking about charging. So this week, we're going to talk a little bit about charging, the types of penalties you can get for charging, as well as define exactly what charging is in hockey. Okay, so Rule 6.3, charging. A minor penalty, or at the discretion of the referee, a major penalty, and a game misconduct penalty based on a degree of violence shall be assessed to any player who runs or jumps into or charges an opponent. If injury results, a major penalty and a game misconduct penalty shall be assessed. Note, if more than 2 steps or strides are taken, it shall be considered a charge. So I'm going to show you an example of a charging penalty in a few minutes, but in the meantime, you can only take 2 strides to get to a player. Essentially, it works out to the length of your stick and your arm distance away from a player. That's as far as you can go. Anything further than that, it's considered a charging penalty. 6.3b says, a major penalty and a game misconduct penalty shall be assessed to any player who charges a goaltender while the goaltender is within their crease or who injures an opponent as a result of a charge. Note, a goaltender is not fair game just because they are outside the goal crease area. A penalty for interference, minor, or at the discretion of a referee, a major penalty in a game misconduct, or charging, minor, or at the discretion of a referee, a major penalty in a game misconduct penalty, shall be called when the opposing player makes unnecessary contact with the goaltender. Likewise, referees should be alert to penalize goaltenders for tripping, slashing, or spearing in the vicinity of the goal. So this is pretty straightforward. If you charge a goaltender in their crease, it's an automatic major and a game misconduct. If you injure any player on the ice, whether intentional or not, as the result of a charging, then you'll be assessed a 5-minute and a game misconduct for charging, as is the case with other penalties. So finally, Rule 6.3c says, where a player is charged in such a way that the player is unable to protect or defend themselves, or the charge is considered a deliberate attempt to injure, a match penalty shall be assessed. So this is the same ruling that we apply in other cases. If there's a deliberate attempt to injure or the player is unable to protect themselves, a match penalty must be called, in this case, for charging. Let's show you an example of the situation that occurred earlier this year. So as we watch this video, I want you to look for the orange player that's going to appear out of the left-hand side of the screen around center ice. As he skates in, he's going to see the puck come up along the boards. And in a second, you're going to see him start to skate towards that puck. Now, I want you to watch how many strides he takes to get to the player and lay a hit. Starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, and then he glides, and then he lays a high hit. Now, let's watch the video again from a different angle to show you the same thing. So you're going to watch the same video again, except this time the camera is from behind the net. So the player has already started moving on the left-hand side of the screen that we can't see when he lays this hit, although it does give you a better indication of how high the hit was. So you can see him coming in from the left. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 before he starts gliding. The hit is high, and the player goes down. So unfortunately, the player that was hit was injured as a result of this. So you can see that you're only allowed to take 2 steps towards a player to lay a hit. In this case, the player took at least 5 steps. As a result, that increases his velocity. He also laid a hit high, so he could have been called for head contact or for charging. Either or, there should be a major penalty or most likely a match penalty called on this play. So that's it for charging. If you have any questions, concerns, comments about any of the videos that we produce, this one or any other, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach us through the Referee-in-Chief of Hockey Eastern Ontario, John Reed. You can also reach out to myself. My email address and our Twitter handle is below. Or, of course, you can reach out to your association president, your district referee-in-chief, your district chair, your association referee-in-chief, lots of folks that you can reach out to connect about these videos. If you have a suggestion for us, please don't hesitate to reach out to us as well. We'd love to hear from you. As always, have a wonderful and safe week, and we'll see you back here next week.